Okay, so which part of your mind drives your car, drives your life? Is it the primitive center, the ego defense mechanism, and all of your adaptations and fears, or is it your conscious mind, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your mind that thinks and can process and look at long-term outcomes from things? I think, of course, I would say everyone, it's a combination of both, right? Because we are led by the stuff that is unconscious in our mind so much more than what's conscious. But a lot of us are working on trying to bring that which is unconscious into our conscious, working to unhook from our fears and our programming and our conditioning so that we can be more in charge of our lives, right? But it's not an easy task. And it's even if we are in the driver's seat of our life more often than not, or more often than in the past, many of us probably are still experiencing that sense that our ego is in charge. It catches us off guard. I call it the ego trickster because it's like it just comes in and it sneaks up on us. And it's also very creative because even when you think you've healed a layer, the next thing you know, your ego comes in with some new creative strategy to keep you safe. Remember, the ego wants you to be safe and wants you to survive and wants you to, not have to feel too much discomfort, really like status quo and certainty. And so it can trick us into believing that is the best way of living our lives. But what it usually does is ends up making us, if we listen to the ego, we end up living in a lot of fear. We end up playing really small. We end up not taking any risks. We start making ourselves more invisible, smaller, shrinking our lives so that we feel safe, avoiding people, and then wake up one day and go, what the heck did I just do? I let my fear brain, I let my programming, I let my childhood pain and wounding control me for my whole life. Instead, we can unhook from that. I know that sounds pretty impossible in some ways, but we can. We can unhook from that and we can start to be in charge and to start to face our fears and feel our feelings and go through all of that unconscious material and start to unhook from all of that stuff and become a person who chooses, a person who is able to make choices for how they want to show up in their life. I'm not saying that that's just like snap your fingers and it all happens, but this is actually what we do in my program, and in case you're interested, it's called the Whole Soul Way, and it's happening starting in September, and I'm enrolling women in the program right now, and if you're interested, I would love for you to send me a message and let's talk about it.